But it's fine. We get to go again. Alright, we did Sarge before. Let's look at these Vanar generals. I mean, if we're gonna avoid the vet decks for variety's sake, then Ilena's kind of pretty bad, so I think Kara's where it's at. Her Bloodborne spell is much more powerful, I think. Ugh. Oh no, this is good. Get that removal. Yes. I rate Cryogenesis really highly in draft. Hey, Trap Mansion. I'm alright. How are you? I had a good day at work, and then some kids probably squirted tomato ketchup over my door in the evening, so I had to clean that up. That was fun. I also just found out that if you right-click on cards, it selects them. I didn't know that. Marginal cards here. Prison is really good if we have lots of draw or end up very aggressive. Frostfire, likewise. I do quite like the old turn 1 random Vesper, turn 2 Frostfire opening. Borean Bear needs a lot of Vespers to be good, and I don't think it's particularly pickable. Hey, my Candleman, GG. Pleasantly surprised to run into you. Sorry about ending the run. Oh, it's fine. It happens. I'm a bit annoyed about the combo. How dare you? But it's fine. What score are you at this point? Are you also... That must have been 8-2 or 8-1? I take Hailstone without even thinking here. I think it's close. I don't like Hailstone that much. It's really good if you're going to kill them in a couple of turns. But like, we're Kara, and we've started out with 2 removal spells. So that's definitely not a guarantee. If we have Fae, this looks a lot better. Nowadays, I've been less impressed with Frostfire than I used to be, because the larger card pool means there's fewer Vespers that it goes with. The main one is Crystal Cloaker, and there's not so many of those. So I think you are. I think Hailstone Prison is right, but I think it's quite close actually. I didn't know that either. Thanks for the tip on right clicking. I literally just did it by accident. Dancing. Oh no! We would have gotten there. I mean, this is looking like quite a nice control deck, to be fair. I mean, Hailstone's not really a control card, but it can help. If we can find some card draw to make up for this. And this is quite a nice way of getting card advantage, so I'm going to slam that. They said we never got more Vespers. They're there, they're just worse, I think. Oh, that was taunting me. If they don't have a 2-drop, it can just delete a card. This is very true. That's going to be much rarer, though. I'm like 8-2 now. The curve on that draft isn't great, but I do have that combo, and having seen your previous stream, knew some of what you were running. Oh, the information advantage. So cheeky. That's quite cool, actually. It's kind of nice when you like run into the same person again or something, and you're like, now I can play around their cards right. Could be an amazing tempo deck too with D-Blades and Bounce. This is true. Although, looking at these cards, maybe not so much. I guess Avalanche is the pick. I don't, like... I'm not going to pick Frostfire until I have Vespers. Speculatively doing it is too risky nowadays. And this card sucks. So I think we're going to try and bait people into some Avalanches. Draugalord, you say? Tutorable with Cryogenesis, you say? Bam. Ugh. Void Hunt is quite nice with the BBS, actually. Speaking of nice with the BBS... That's not going to happen ever. That card's bad, so Saber's Pine Tiger. Ooh, this is a good one. That would have been our Ilena card. Mesmerize sucks. This also good. This is good, but we're already kind of stuffed with removal. Well, I'm just going to pick this solid 3-4 that draws me cards. Oh, 2-drop. A good one as well. You're super right about new Vespers. I didn't realize a few cards were, or forgot at least. Yeah, they do make them. They're bad, so they're kind of more forgettable. There's things like the 1-4 that gets +3 attack in your opponent's turn and stuff. I quite like that card from a design perspective, but it's underwhelmed me in play. You are the original advocator of Void Hunter, I think. Probably. Certainly in draft. I do like me a Void Hunter or two. Hey, oh damn, I've forgotten how to say your username. It's like Colicisto? Coliquisto? Something like that? I'm alright. How are you? I had a good day at work today. We launched, as I've mentioned about work stress quite a bit on the stream over time. We've been building up to this product launch that actually went live in open beta yesterday. So, which is cool because I can talk about what I do now. I make a 3D printing software. It's really cool. It turns 3D models into like instructions for 3D printers. So you can, if you have a printer, you can download our software and use it for free, and you can see if it works. And mostly it does. People are actually liking it, which is great because I was super worried. This pack kind of sucks. I guess Chromatic Cold just gives us a embarrassment of riches when it comes to dealing with ranged units, which is pretty good. The moose is okay actually. Like maybe I need more proactive cards at this point. I played some Kara Vesper earlier in Constructed and I was like, good for you, man, before I beat him with my Agmar deck. The last time I played against that deck, I almost lost. They spammed out a bunch of wolves and I made them all huge. And I think I won on like 2 life. It was really close. What's the software called? It's called Pathio. Pathio.xyz is the website. It's all brightly coloured. Yeah, it's nice actually. It's been this week. I was kind of expecting it to be very stressful. I think we all were, and it's actually been so far fine. Like there are bugs, but not as many as we thought, and we're getting good fixes in. Hey, that's really cool about your job, and if I'm understanding correctly, it sounds like a bit of stress relief after it dropped. Thank you. Yeah, it really was. It was. We actually had some, not delays, but like our original schedule got pushed back a bit to make time for like marketing and finalizing and stuff. And I'm really glad that that happened, like the schedule change, because we ended up having this kind of luxury time to polish it, and it was still quite stressful, but the result now is like something much stronger than we had a month ago, say. It's actually like pretty nice now. Pathio to X was it? Yeah, that's the one. You just search that or back it in your address bar. Oh, I clicked the most. Well, rip Chromatic Cold, but that's actually fine. Probably want Corona over second aspect of the Ravager. I do like these, but they really don't work well in multiples, whereas Corona is just like always good. And if it could stop offering me Arctic Displacer, I'd be grateful. Hello! Ooh. 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 Huh. I want to say Ice Age probably isn't the pick, but actually the card is really powerful, so it's worth considering. Aeolith is absurd. It's really hard to get rid of and really hard to beat. Seraphim is also absurd because it's Ghost Seraphim. Aeolith is cheaper. It's not nothing. We don't have any major combos with Seraphim. We do have a fair amount of removal in general, which is good with. And we can obviously try and pick some up. I've never played with Draug or Aeolith, and I kind of want to try it out. I've played against it and lost horribly, which the Seraphim doesn't quite do the same. I'm gonna give this a try. Ooh, a 2-drop. Ooh, a Frigid Corona. And an aspect of Shimzar, which is pretty good actually. I mean, if we can try and wombo combo into a Thunderhorn or a Sojourner. Is Frigid Corona just better? Considering how much removal we already have. I do think Shimzar is great. Like, sometimes it gives them a dex, and you're like, oh, fine. But most of the time, it's great. Is the software aimed at home users or manufacturing type businesses? Ideally both. We've given it a kind of nice UI, so it should be a bit easier to get into than most slicing software, but it's also got some strong advantages under the hood. It's in open beta right now, so what you've got is like not necessarily a finished product. There's going to be more to it as we go along as well, but we're targeting both. Aeolith Ice Age is also delightful for the memes. This is very true. Aeolith is really good if opponents don't have hard removal. Yeah. And, like, same with Seraphim, right? Like, Seraphim has a bit more immediate impact, but Aelith's cheaper, so it kind of works out. Do you have a 3D printer at home? No, I'd actually never worked with printers before I took my job. But there's lots in the office. I like Corona, or even the 2-drop here, where half the draft and only one 2-drop that can't take a tile. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's worth it just for the... Ooh, actually, that's a very good point. We don't want to fall too far behind. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Ooh. We've got 2 build units, so Architect T2K5 could actually do some work. Wintertide's really good, though. I'm very tempted by this. Like, this card is surprisingly powerful. With Kinetic Surge, it's 3 3/3s for 5, which is actually kind of dumb. Like, it does a lot. Ironclad sucks. How are we doing on curve? I do kind of want a bit more at the low end. And I do like the idea of drawing cards off this. So I'm gonna go for it. We need the 2-drop. Huh. Give a friendly Vesper minion celerity. I think we have just Draugr. Oh, and the Moose. Wombo combo. And this. Go face, get 2 cards. Kind of okay. Nah. Take the sensible card. Ooh, Swan Defender. I'm a big Swan Defender fan. This card's a lot of value. Wintertide Inkara actually sounds pretty good. I've played it in Nematon. It's awesome. Even in Constructed. Do we have enough units for Razorback? Like, kind of. It's just a big Primus Fist. It's not a great card, but it's okay. Draugr with Celerity would be beastly. It's true. That is approximately a ton of bricks, but I don't want to play a 3/4 for 5 as the cost for that. Posted something in Discord. You can check it out on stream or whenever. Let's have a look. See if it's stream material. Oh yeah, I'll have a I'll have a peek at that later. I was just thinking out loud, not dissing the Razorback. Sorry, that's okay. You can disagree with my picks. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing to. Please, like, continue to ask questions and make suggestions. That's absolutely fine. I actually don't rate Razorback. Especially even in Constructed, like, people build these lists with Jacks and Wolves, and like, you could cut Razorback and put in this card. And suddenly you have a 1-card combo. It's just because the other 2 options were pretty naff. This is kind of interesting. This is really good with Kara's BBS, and we're obviously not going to have combos with Decimus. So dealing 2 damage at the end of their turn is not very exciting compared to what we could do with this immediately. And then Kolmar is naff in draft, so yeah, we're going to voice it. This could have been the Dream Gauntlet Vesper draft. We could have picked up like 5 Vespers ish. That's a vanilla 2-drop, or some vanilla more expensive cards, and we do need 2-drops, so I guess I'm picking that. The card Kara, that was funny to hear. You never think of generals as cards. That's why I like it. Like, this Kara is, I think, even now underappreciated. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so Blazehound is good with Hailstone Prison, but kind of bad otherwise with our relatively grindy deck. Cryptographer is really good with the BBS, and it is basically a 3/3 with upside. This is kind of like a Songweaver, I guess. It's slightly worse than Songweaver, unless you're comboing it with cards we don't have. It is really good with this. Or there's just another Tiger for killing things. Huh. Given we have Architect and Cryo, I don't think this is a Blaze Hound deck. And like Frigid Corona. Cryptographer is cheap. And we can play it and then play 3-drop plus BBS or 4-drop plus BBS on turn 2, which is actually really good. Yeah, let's go with Crypto. That's a nice 2-drop. We probably have enough 2-drops now. Ugh. I guess the ranged unit. This isn't terrible, actually. We do only have 4 3-drops. Compared to 6 4-drops, but most of them aren't very good on turn 2. Yeah, okay. Future Dread Player is pretty good actually, but a 2-drop is a 2-drop. I've honestly always been underwhelmed by it. Dread Player. Like, it's okay. It pressures Veil Hunter, which is important, but so often it just does nothing. I think it's Crypto unless we want the removal. We only have 2 strong 4s we want to play early. I think the splitter is good. Awesome. I'm glad we thought along the same lines. I really want to pick this, but I think I have 0 cards that go with it. Correct. Likewise this, which kind of leaves this Yun. To be fair, as pets go, Yun is not that bad. Like, Yun hits like a ton of bricks. Turn 1 or turn 2 Yun is pretty good. Yeah, sure. Ooh, the pig. The pig of doom. Grab that, big boy. Bad cards. Do we take the value Snowpiercer? We don't need it. We have plenty of removal. Go the Fire Splitter instead. Definitely not a second Hailstone Prison kind of deck, which probably just leads us to the Crystal Clicker, because Flash Freeze is also essentially a Hailstone Prison. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind another 2-drop. Right, we need some hitting power. Ooh. White Widow or Riftwalker? I think White Widow is better. It's better on turn 2, which is something we're lacking. It's slightly bigger. And obviously we don't have the combos of stacking these up. We've already got a Blistering Scorn, which makes the Riftwalker look pretty embarrassing. I think we take second Spitter to make our deck a tiny bit more consistent. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, that's a good line of thinking. It flies around killing range stuff. Asuka got me into taking Dreadflare, actually. You know what? I mean, Asuka is better than me, so probably take his advice before mine, but I don't know. I just, like, in practice, I've always thought it was kind of meh. Like, there will be turns where someone plays a Dreadflare and the other player's like, oh, I can't play my X2 ranged unit now. But normally the Veil Hunter comes down first. At which point, often the Veil Hunter can be buffed or the 2/4 can be removed. And in all of the circumstances, it's just a 2/4. When you compare it to something like Wild Tar, where you can plonk Wild Tar in the middle of the board and force your opponent to trade life for it. You can use Wild Tar to threaten people. You can use it to pressure, to deter things. Like, it just does much more when you're behind, as well as being good when you're ahead and being good at pressuring certain types of creature. In this case, like AoE things. Widow is tempting, but we have little egg / Heartseeker removal. Widow is Heartseeker removal if you're lucky. I want to be greedy. I want another Tar. I think Herald is the right pick, though. I prefer Tar. Herald is the right pick. I think... Ooh, hello. I don't hate having some healing. We are lacking in it. I think Wild Tar is one of the best 3s in the format. Maybe, arguably, we don't need healing as much if we're consistently playing a pig on turn 2. Because this card really scares people off attacking you. How do we beat Fade X? Like, we can try and stick Fire Spitter. We can try and get some of this stuff in their face. No, actually, to be honest, the tempo you get off the tower is probably worth it, isn't it? It's also better with Kinetic Surge, which is not nothing. Like, this is a 3-5 is really good. Actually, I think that tips the balance. Like, I think this has got to be a tempo deck. We have lots of removal. Not all of which is particularly good for long-term card advantage. We have a fairly low curve. And we don't have all that much sticking power. Like, we don't have... Like, the Sarge deck was full of powerful 5-drops, which we have way fewer of here. So I think this is a tempo deck, at which point the Tar is much better. Because it swings the tempo of the game in our favour by A, attacking well, and B, preventing people from attacking us.